Sup YouTube, I'm in quite a hurry now. I'm going to quickly record this video, try to add as much commentary because I got things going on right now. It's not just because of how long I made yesterday's video go on for, but just in general, I don't have much time at the moment. I'm not going to get into it. It's by Karl Jobst. It's about Billy Mitchell.
Hello,
that
you
bastard.
absolute legends. Billy Mitchell is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, he is.
Recently, a video surfaced of our hero, the greatest video game player of the century, maybe even of all time, appearing in court in relation to one of his lawsuits against Twin Galaxies. The exchange that occurred between him and the judge was interesting to say the least. I'm gonna be honest, things were not looking promising. The case seemed like it was surely on the brink of being dismissed. Billy Mitchell was about to lose. But of course, Billy Mitchell always has a plan. He showed up ready to fight, and he pulled out every trick, every technique, and his execution was frame perfect. Dismissal was imminent, but Billy was about to turn it around. All he needed to do was convince a judge to ignore his legal responsibilities. Luckily, Billy Mitchell is a master negotiator, and seeing him in action is a thing of beauty. You're about to be taught a masterclass on persuasion, so take out a pen and paper and get ready to learn. But first, I must warn you, Billy Mitchell's tactics are unconventional. They are risky, some may even say childish and disingenuous. But don't let the haters fool you, Billy Mitchell is an expert in the ancient art of smooth talking. Admittedly though, in this particular case, he failed miserably. The judge just wasn't buying any of it. No matter how much Billy pleaded and begged, the judge refused to budge. Ultimately, the judge did dismiss the case, and Billy, on the verge of tears, had to admit defeat. In today's video, we will take a look at this amazing footage. You are about to see a failed conman attempt to woo a judge and fall flat on his face. There is some really weird stuff in here, and I know you are going to enjoy it. In this video, we are talking about the greatest video game player of all time. But for a moment, let's talk about the greatest video game of all time.
Yeah, enough with the Raid Shadow Legends crap. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Summon an awesome champion as soon as you start.
Oh my
It's really that easy. Just click the link in the description and I'll see you in the game. Back in May, I launched a GoFundMe for the victims of Billy Mitchell's lawsuits. And I need to say a massive thank you to everyone that donated. We even received a $13,000 donation from Adam Clegg, which is absolutely insane. In total, we raised over $50,000, and that money is already hard at work. We organized an amazing lawyer for David Race, who is currently in the process of trying to get his lawsuit dismissed. We are also in talks with the other defendants, and will be ready to help as soon as it's needed. Personally, I need to extend a ton of gratitude to Notch, the creator of Minecraft, who graciously offered to help me in my own defense of Mitchell. After my last video, Mitchell set his lawyer on me again, this time demanding I pay $300,000 or he was going to sue me. I took it more seriously this time, hiring my own lawyer, and Notch did come through and has been helping me with the bills. When Mitchell comes after me with frivolous legal action, he is also going after my entire family, who depend on me to support them, and we are all extremely grateful. Now onto this amazing new video. This is a recording of a hearing which took place in early June. It was for Mitchell's defamation lawsuit against Twin Galaxies in Florida, which was for $10 million. This hearing was scheduled by the court because Mitchell hadn't taken any action on this lawsuit in 10 months. The reason he hadn't taken any action is because he was already busy suing them in California. I don't know why he sued Twin Galaxies in 2 different states. Perhaps the Florida lawsuit was just a backup in case he lost the one in California. In any case, he was given 60 days to either take action or at least show good cause as to why the case had seen no activity. The critical thing about the hearing notice is that it says the lawsuit shall be dismissed if no action is taken or good cause shown 5 days prior to the hearing. The words "shall be" are really important here, because you can't argue your way out of it. If you don't respond, it's over. Billy Mitchell didn't respond, which makes the hearing even more bizarre, because by the time the hearing came around, it was a done deal. The case was going to be dismissed. There was nothing Billy could do about it. But for some crazy reason, Billy thought he could talk the judge out of doing what was legally required of him. I don't know if it was delusion or just a lack of legal expertise, but the reason I'm showing you this video is because of the obvious manipulation that Billy Mitchell employs to try and get his way. So let's take a look.
A lot harder to manipulate a judge now, is it, Billy?
Mr. Mitchell, Billy Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Yeah, what case are you here for, sir?
It's William Mitchell, plaintiff, that's myself, versus Twin Galaxies. I heard the gentleman speak earlier about your bow tie, and I concur. Matter of fact, I have a West Point tie on myself.
Thank you, sir.
Straight out of the gate, you can see the manipulation tactics employed. First, he compliments the judge on his bow tie, which admittedly is fine, but what he says next is very peculiar. He goes out of his way to let the judge know that he is wearing a West Point tie. West Point is the United States Military Academy, but Billy never attended West Point or was in the military. So why is he telling the judge about his West Point tie?
Because
his son definitely went to West Point, which is why Billy has the tie in the first place, but he never went. The question I'm left asking is he trying to imply that he was in the military? I've spoken to a few people about this, and some claim this is an attempt at stolen valor, while others say it isn't. I'm not from the US, so I actually don't know how this is viewed, but I do think it's more suspicious because he is intentionally pointing it out to the judge instead of just wearing it passively.
Yeah, that is kind of random.
Okay, it's number 17.
Yes, sir. I spoke with Melanie Griffith yesterday. She was terrific. I discovered this hearing. I would have contacted sooner. I discovered it in my junk mail. And the trouble that I faced is the entity Twin Galaxies, the last time they filed a real annual report was 2018. They allowed the corporation to go inactive. The address on Pine Island Road, nobody there would help in any way. But I came to notice that a little over a month ago, they suddenly became active. They reinstated it on April 17th. So I now believe that I won't have problem. And if I don't get satisfaction making contact there on Pine Island Road, then I'm told that I can serve them through the Secretary of State.
There is a lot to unpack here, but the first sentence is simply amazing, and I will play it again a few times.
I spoke with Melanie Griffith yesterday. She was terrific. I spoke with Melanie Griffith yesterday. She was terrific.
Isn't she like a TV person?
I spoke with Melanie Griffith yesterday. She was terrific. I discovered this hearing. I would have contacted sooner.
I spoke with Melanie Griffith yesterday. She was terrific. A completely random statement that has nothing to do with anything is never referenced again, nor is it explained why it was said in the first place. So, who is Melanie Griffith, and why is Billy Mitchell bringing her up? Here is my theory. Melanie Griffith is a celebrity. She is well past her heyday now, but several decades ago she was an A-list actor. By saying that he spoke with a celebrity yesterday, I think that Billy is trying to imply that he is an important person of high social stature. Did Billy actually speak with Melanie Griffith the
Probably
day before
not.
this hearing? I have no idea. But it's irrelevant to the hearing, and telling the judge just shows how hilariously juvenile Billy's thought processes are.
Yeah, it does.
I spoke with Melanie Griffith yesterday.
Who cares?
I discovered this hearing. I would have contacted sooner. I discovered it in my junk mail.
Can we talk to Melanie Griffith herself to verify?
And
Next, he states that he found the notice to the hearing in his junk mail, which is why he didn't respond to it.
Lies.
I don't believe this story at all. The
No,
notice was
there's no
given
way.
on March 18th, and the hearing was on the 4th of June. This is over 2.5 months later. So if Billy's story is true, it means that the hearing was sitting in his junk mail for over 2 months, at which point it was miraculously discovered in the 5 days leading up to the hearing.
That makes no sense because there probably would have been like a stack of junk mail on top of that, making it impossible to find. He's lying.
He then makes excuses as to why he couldn't take action against Twin Galaxies, claiming that he couldn't find them. All of this is bogus though. The reality is that Billy has been in constant contact with Twin Galaxies the entire time, because he is engaged in an active lawsuit against them in California. But he can't let the judge know that, because then his excuse for having good cause gets destroyed. So he lies and says that he couldn't reach them.
That's
The
bad.
problem is that the complaint was filed, or the amended complaint was filed back in May 2020. And the notice of lack of prosecution was filed in March 18th, 2021. And it required either record activity or statement of good cause while the case should remain open to be filed.
Well, again, the
prior to
good
the hearing. So, but neither one has been filed.
okay. Well, the good cause is the fact that there was nowhere to serve. They had allowed the company to go inactive, and I believe they activated it again, as I'm looking on the sunbiz.org, in April, because they saw that you had the order on March 18th. I think it was in preparation for that, but luckily I did discover it, and if I could, just have you consider that, I will get it done. As a matter of fact, I'm in a position shortly where I'll actually get an attorney, and I know attorneys give you less headaches than pro se.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes attorneys are worse.
Here, the judge is explaining to Billy that the deadline has already passed. Notice how Billy rudely interrupts the judge, and it's because of this interruption that you can't hear the judge explain that good cause is needed to have been shown 5 days prior to the hearing. Also notice that at no point did the judge ask Billy any questions or seek the information that Billy is providing. That's because it's useless. The time for this discussion is over, and Billy's rants are simply wasting the judge's time.
Yeah.
The problem, sir, really, realistically, is that the rule requires that I dismiss the case in these circumstances. And so I am going to dismiss the case. I have to. The rule states says shall dismiss the case. So I got to dismiss the case without prejudice. If you get an attorney can file a motion before the court. I can address that motion.
Okay, without prejudice, does it make a difference that it would take it beyond the statute of limitations?
Billy eventually asks about the statute of limitations. In Florida, the statute of limitations for defamation is 2 years. This means that you cannot sue someone for defamation for remarks made over 2 years prior. The remarks that Twin Galaxies are being sued for occurred well over 2 years ago in 2018. So if this lawsuit is dismissed, it's game over, at least in Florida.
Does it make a difference that it would take it beyond the statute of limitations? And again, I believe they've done this on purpose, and that's why they allowed it to go inactive.
See, the rule is designed for the plaintiff to keep the case active and moving because the plaintiff is seeking relief from the court. So, it's been since last May, well over a year. So it is without prejudice, and if you get an attorney, your attorney will, can do what he or she feels is necessary. I apologize, but the rule does state that the case shall be dismissed.
Okay, but the statute of limitations would not come into play because of the without prejudice, is that the case?
I can't tell you that because I'd be giving you legal advice if I did. But talk to an attorney and they can give you their thoughts.
Okay, again, I would just like to say for the record,
Dude, quit
we made
sniveling.
every effort to contact them.
Sure you
We
have.
went by the address. There were people there. There was no one who would help or give any information in any way.
Bullshit.
And then suddenly here in April, they went ahead and reinstated their corporation. I believe, again, all this was done maliciously on their part.
It's maliciously on your part.
We can't look in their minds to know that, but that's what I believe. And that's the position I'll pursue it from.
The amount of
can't.
disrespect Mitchell shows to the judge is really telling. The
Yeah.
judge has explained multiple times what was required, and yet Billy continues to waste his time by repeating the same rant over and over.
Yeah, he
the
is.
judge is being extremely patient here.
I just being, this is not what I expected, to be honest.
I understand. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay, very unhappy, but have a good day, sir.
I understand.
Look at that face. He looks like a 2-year-old sulking because you won't let them watch any more television. This is a truly incredible peek into the mind of Billy Mitchell. And the thing that shocks me is that this performance was done to a judge. We have possible stolen valor, name-dropping a celebrity, lying and giving fake excuses for why he didn't respond, repeatedly interrupting, and completely disregarding what the judge was saying. Fortunately, the judge was unaffected by these ploys, and the case was correctly dismissed. Billy Mitchell claims to be a winner, but I guess you can't win every time. If you want to see the full, unedited version, I will put a link to the original YouTube video where I found this. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.
I really love when Karl Jobst is talking about Billy Mitchell, because even before I actually started watching Karl Jobst, which was sometime last year when I kept seeing recommended his video where he talked about that Mexican YouTube channel, Badaboon, I think, or Badaboons, or I forget what they're called, but how they clearly faked a speedrun of Super Mario Brothers and had this guy acting like a total dick, eating a pizza and drinking a Coke like while he was playing and stuff. There's actually a channel I watched sometime last year that made fun of that speedrun. I actually plan on making my own version of it, but I just don't live in a comfortable enough situation to really set that up, at least not currently. But anyways, that's how I discovered him. But it was years before that I found out that that Billy Mitchell is a cheat. He lied. He would say that he, in fact, was the greatest Donkey Kong player of all time, but it was proven that he used an emulator, which makes it not official, because the way an emulator loads, the way it plays, in some cases the way it plays is different than the original arcade hardware. But it goes on. There's other things he's done. He sues people for saying negative things about him. In fact, the very first YouTube short I ever uploaded was me calling out Billy Mitchell. As a result that I didn't actually watch the Karl Jobst video. I mean, I watched the Karl Jobst video that came out just before then on my own that talked about how horrible of a person Billy Mitchell truly is. It's not just the fact that he's lying about his high scores and actually isn't even as good as he says that he is at these video games, but it's the fact that he will go at lengths to try to prove that he's the best when the evidence shows that he's not, and he'll sue people for contradicting him because he happens to have all this money and he wants to he'd rather ruin your life for proving him wrong than accepting that he's wrong. That's how much of an egotistical sociopath douchebag he is. Anyways, like I said, I gotta go. Don't know if I'll upload the date of recording. That's August 26th. I hope I will, but I don't know. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, click that bell icon to have any notifications. Check out Karl Jobst's channel. He's awesome. He talks about a lot of like speedrun world records and a lot of really cool things. And he also has talked about different things that have happened in the case with Billy Mitchell. And look at that! And look at that GoFundMe, or the Kickstarter he started to help people who have been sued by Billy Mitchell. That's amazing. That's like it proves that he's actually a really good guy, and he's not simply doing it for the views. Hey! I'm not doing this for the views. I just want people not familiar with this much larger channel than mine to see this. So go check out Karl Jobst's channel. You can subscribe to my channel to check out some other stuff. I've reacted to other Karl Jobst videos. Anyways, thank you so much. Have a good one.